Merciful Father, we thank you for our lives. We thank you for the many blessings we have received from you. Moving from far and near, you have granted us traveling mercies to this place. We thank you. And we thank you for the opportunity for your church to evangelize through the medium. We say we are grateful to you. This morning, we commit this program into your care, asking that you send among us your Holy Spirit to direct affairs for us, so that we will be successful in all our deliberations and in this activity. Bless your church as a church. Bless your church as individuals who contribute to make the foundation stronger. And bless the efforts we put across this day. Grant that whatever we do here, Lord, your hand and your blessings will be upon us. We ask this through Christ the Lord. Amen. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
We're grateful to Reverend Father Michael Iwa Ansah for the opening prayer. Without much ado, I call upon the Vicar General of the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua, Monsignor Francis Chumberma, to give us the welcome address.
My dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. I deem it a singular delight and privilege to be asked to give a very brief welcome address at today's program, that is the launch of the diocesan arm of the Lumen Christi TV project of the National Catholic TV and the Town Hall meeting. In our world today, social media has become the field of play for all manner of persons, young and old, professionals and non-professionals, literate and illiterate. TV, radio, and other social platforms like the YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook have become a powerful means of disseminating information, teaching information, entertainment, etc. It is therefore very, very appropriate to have this project launched today in our diocese. Though some of us may think these projects are delayed in surfacing, it is imperative to know that it is also laudable and historical that the Catholic Church in Ghana has at long last joined this effective and efficient channel of evangelization. It is a powerful tool, a powerful means of preaching, advertising the rich culture and practices of the Church, thus bringing the Church very close to the homes of Catholics and non-Catholics alike. That is why, on behalf of Most Reverend Joseph Efrifa, the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua, on behalf of the Diocese Implementation Subcommittee, I warmly welcome all of you, Nananum, honorable ministers, National Catholic TV Implementation Committee reps, the clergy and the religious present, the diocesan societies represented here, the lay faithful, media persons, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to this launching program this morning. We are highly honored and grateful to all of you for accepting and honoring our invitation. And our humble request is that you accompany us to make this dream project come true and also sustainable. Many thanks, and once again, a very huge welcome to all of you. Akwabo!
Thank you very much, Monsignor. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to know that they have also taken this task in earnest and have been doing their best through social media and other means of communication to sensitize all of us about the project that is coming on board. One aspect of this project is that from the technical committee and in consultation with the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, we decided that this project becomes a laity project, so that some of the mistakes that the bishops may have made in the past, and for which we have also received certain criticisms, now we can, together with the laity, set this project going. So I want us to understand that yes, this project is heavily dependent on you, the lay people. And we want to continue to ask for your assistance, cooperation, and support to sustain this project. Inviting me, therefore, to be here, to be the chairman of such a program is in order, and I'm happy. Already, as you can see, I'm seated in the chairman's seat. So what else can I do? So I have accepted to moderate today's activities, today's ceremony, and with your help, I know that we are going to succeed. Thank you, and God bless us.
Now, to be next between him and my Lord Bishop is a very cool, calm daddy. And he is in the person of Mr. Joseph Komla Kujonji. Please put your hands together for him. And he is from the Catholic Diocese of Accra and the national representatives of the Lumen Christi Media TV program. He came from Accra to join us to align to this program. And you are welcome to the land of the rising sun, the valley overlooking the Water Blue Mountains here in Koforidua. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him.
Bishop Chairman, Most Reverend Bishop Joseph Afrifa Jakun, Vicar General Monsignor Francis Chumberima, Ministers of State, Municipal District Chief Executives, Honorable Members of Parliament, Heads of institutions here present, the clergy, Nananom, the press, Diocesan Society's reps, National Catholic Television Project Implementation Committee Chairman, hardworking subcommittee members, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today signifies another milestone in the history of the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua for launching the diocesan version of the Lumen Christi TV project and town hall meeting. The Department of Social Communications, DEPSOCOM, of the Catholic Church, Ghana, under the auspices of the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, GCBC, spearheaded by the National Laity Council, presents Lumen Christi Catholic Media Limited. In April 1993, against a background of directives from the Ministry of Information, the religious bodies, district assemblies, and political parties should not be allowed to operate radio and television stations. The lay people in the church, in July 1993, were advised to form a corporate entity and apply for the frequency licenses to operate. The Knights of Marshall and St. John International therefore took up the challenge and applied, but were denied. In 1995, the dioceses were advised to pursue the agenda. In 1996, Kita Akachi, Damango, Cape Coast, Navrogo Bolgatanga, among others, succeeded and were operating a sort of community radio stations. In 1998, technical partnership was filed with Crystal Radio Vision Networks Limited, and in November 2002, following futile attempt to get funding of $400,000 from the famous Eternal World Television Network, EWTN, Catholic Digest was born, but almost collapsed due to lack of financial support from the National Catholic Secretariat. The Accra Diocese, through the instrumentality of Brother Stephen Domlevo, SVD, with the blessings of Most Reverend Gabriel Palmer Buckle, came to the rescue and sustained it until Most Reverend John Kofi took over and lifted the Catholic Digest to a higher level, convincing his brother bishops who bought ownership idea of the National Lumen Christi Catholic TV project. On 20th May 2020, at GCBC's plenary session in Accra, the bishops approved the 8-long discussions for action, resolving that the laity be joint owners of the project. It was therefore decided to completely overhaul the television broadcast operations in the light of changing trends and customer tastes, and move from a subvention-dependent funded operation to an autonomous, cost-effective operation, living the authentic Christian social teachings through mass media evangelization. Today, technology is the meeting point of the crowds for education, politics, business, entertainment, and many others. There is no platform in the world bigger than media technology. Television is a bigger platform in the media technology that serves as a meeting point for the youth, businessmen and women, as well as public servants. Lumen Christi TV will serve as the standpoint on which we will place the lamp of Christ. The light of Christ has shone so brightly in Ghana, but we hardly project that light for the world to see. We need to project the faith and morals taught by Christ, that many will be informed and be formed. Lumen Christi to teach and ensure the realization of the basic social principles of the Catholic Church. The 10 key principles of the social teaching of the Catholic Church will be highlighted and taught. These are human dignity, community and common good, rights and responsibilities, option for the poor and vulnerable, and participation. The rest are stewardship of creation, solidarity, the role of government, and promotion of peace. The Catholic TV will make the cry louder to resound in the ears of all the concerned persons and groups. The mission is to deliver fascinating television programs and content that informs, entertains, educates, and evangelizes to a global audience. The vision of the LCTV is to be accepted as an evangelistic, entertaining, and authentic TV channel with global appeal. Core values. The corporate culture of Lumen Christi Catholic Media Limited will be guided by 5 fundamental principles, which will resonate through the new operations. The core values are quality and consistency, bold and brilliant, personal focus and evangelistic, high integrity, maturity, and meticulousness. Ownership. Lumen Christi Catholic Media Limited is a media company limited by shares and owned by the Catholic Church of Ghana. It's currently held in trust by the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, GCBC, with the initial board of directors being the executive committee of the National Catholic Television Project Implementation Committee, with a mandate from the GCBC. Funding. Lumen Christi Catholic Media Limited requires about $1 million US for the setup and commencement. It's expected that this will be secured through community funding. Hence, a series of fundraising activities will be undertaken to secure the initial funding. Lumen Christi Media Limited, with its head office in Accra, will have 19 other bureaus in all the dioceses under the Diocesan to reflect its national character and be managed by a team of media professionals to be recruited by the board of directors. The focus for Lumen Christi Media Limited will be the production of content and programs which will be transmitted and broadcast in English, French, and local vernacular languages by a strategic partnership arrangement with Crystal Radio Vision Network Limited, that's Crystal TV, through a channel on its network. The broadcast and transmission of the LCTV will be done via digital, terrestrial, and satellite transmission. This will provide coverage into the 19 dioceses and vicariates, whilst satellite broadcasts will give coverage all over Africa. Lumen Christi Media Limited's digital television network, Lumen Christi TV, will be complemented by social media handles, that's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the others. The programs and content will be produced from all the dioceses acting as diocesan bureaus. Lumen Christi Media Limited, as a mass media evangelization outlet for the Catholic Church in Ghana, requires a lot of support and volunteers to achieve our broad goals and undertake the Great Commission. In this light, may we put together our ideas and passions, resources, and strategies to evangelize through Lumen Christi Television. Long live Lumen Christi TV, long live the Catholic Church, long live Ghana. God bless us all. Amen.
Put your hands together for money. We thank you so much.
Note that the lay chairperson, Mrs. Elizabeth Sasu, has given you already. So the outline, the history, part of it has been given already. And then the NCTP, that is National Catholic Television Project Implementation Committee. The structure, the roadmap, the registration of the company that will roll out the TV station or channel, and the location, then investment in funding, critical activities, the Diocesan launches, one of which we are doing today. We are 50% through to convince brothers, bishops, and it is so convincingly. So they accepted it at the 20th, on the 20th of May 2020, at the preliminary session in Accra. So the bishops said, we have formed this committee, but they have to be inaugurated. So His Excellency, the bishops, the President of Bishops' Conference, inducted us into office on the 14th of June 2021. And our chairman is Dr. Engineer Kenneth Ashibe, who also is well known in the media landscape. Then we have Ohini Hiri Na Kwale Otingwedu as the vice. She has some experience in the television industry. Then we have Madam Priscilla Mensem, who is our secretary. We have Doji Analo as assistant secretary. We have Robert Dela Yao Maonyega as our PRO, who is very busy on the various platforms this morning, trying to churn out what is happening here now. We have Mr. Jose Usuejiman, who is the financial secretary. We have myself as an ex-officio member. And then we have Reverend Diodone Davo, the executive secretary of social communications at the National Catholic Secretariat, who is the link between the priests and the committee. The National Implementation Committee executives. We have at the top there, the structure of the whole team, we have at the top there the Bishops' Conference. And we have under it, be able to communicate very well, and then the legal men are there to direct us to chat our way, so that the content that we produce will not turn people off, but rather incite people and fill the gaps that the present television landscape is not providing. To ensure an upgrading production and other equipment funding. Yes, the diocese, we have strategized that all the dioceses will have bureaus and studios. There will be a uniform guideline for the type of the studios that you build. And then there will be guidelines also on the vital equipment that we can provide. Then the roadmap implemented and phased out roadmap with timelines. We've done that, and it's part of the timeline that we are accomplishing at this function. The board of directors will be set up. Who will take over from us? The executive council will phase out, but some of the subcommittees will be there to help the board of directors and the management that will be put in place to run the business. But they will be there for 2 years, 2 more years. The diocesan launch, as I've said, mentioned already, has been done, and this is the 10th one we are doing. The Lumen Christi Catholic Media Limited is owned by all of us. The bishops who own 51%, and the 49% who go to the laity. There will be initial shareholding. The initial shareholding, the bishops have agreed already that there will be no discrepancy or difference between the shares. 5% having allotted to each of the 20, irrespective of their financial strength or their endowment and all that. And that comes initially to about 10,000 per diocese. But the bishops themselves, within their circle, know those that are less endowed and those that are endowed. So they have a table by which they calculate such things. Some are 12,000 something, and some are as low as 8,000 or 6,000 or so. And from the initial capital share of 200,000 that I've just mentioned, for the bishops, in addition to the Dutch seat money, they are to build a standard television studio in all the 20 dioceses. And there's an initial board in place now, made up of some executive members of the implementation committee. And we have brought on board some professionals like lawyer Samson Ladi Aidini and the chartered accountant Ms. Beatrice Akomongi. That is the registration certificate of your company. You will see that at the end of it, limited is not put in, is not spelled in full. The new Company Act 992 prescribes that henceforth it should be LTD, not limited. So let's take note. I see that on our crest here. We have put it in full. It should have been LTD. The company has been registered at Bishop Bowers' house, that is in Accra, on the Nkrumah Avenue. That's where we registered it. And we have, the bishops also have given us a 3-room office in the National Secretariat, where we will be operating from initially. As I mentioned, all the dioceses also will have their own bureaus, and we are proposing that studios should be established in all the seminaries so that the seminarians can be taught early how to do evangelism, and know how to use media in propagating the Word of God. Then we have located a warehouse at the National Secretariat, Catholic Secretariat in Accra. A warehouse, part of this is not being used. We have applied to the bishops to use as the national studio. It's a big, a huge one. People will ask, in this modern time, why do you want a big space for television where you can have it in a 2-bedroom, in a bedroom? We have many advantages in having a large, big studio, which will be divided into various studios. While an activity is going on in one, another activity will be in another. And some of them need something like this big for certain functions to be transmitted live. And those will be rented out, hired out as extra revenue for the TV station. And once we get that hand funding for it, it will be a big change, a game changer, in that in the whole country, that will be the second to none or the second largest. This is the office that have been bequeathed to us by the Bishops' Conference. That is the photo of the warehouse that we are applying for and want to convert into a national studio. Investment and funding. The major sources of funding is the share capital that I explained to you. As of now, we cannot do IPOs because we have no value now, even to go out on the stock market or something like that. It is the various contributions that are coming from you that will be the basis for which we will stand, and after we reach a certain roadmap, we will now get the professionals to structure out, to engineer how we could now go public and call for shares, people to buy shares. Shares that are bought will be for your own benefit or will be offered to your parishes, your home parishes, or to the diocese. But when it comes to profit sharing, all those shares will be kept by the church. So that is how we are proposing, but the professionals will guide us and see how we will operate within that context. Donations, as I said, donations that are coming now will all be part of preparation for the public offer. Cost marketing. Cost marketing could be like having some partnership with other media houses inside Ghana or outside Ghana, where we go and get some income or otherwise. Adverts and sponsorship, yes, will be depending on adverts and sponsorship, but all depends on the content and the number of people we are attracting to the television station. The more people that see the content will be able to attract advertisement and sponsorship. So the work of the content committee is very important. They must be innovative. They could probably cover festivals, various festivals, probably make sure that those part of the festival that is not commensurate, is not in tandem with our Catholic doctrine and all that, will not, be shown. So content syndication I've mentioned already. Investment and funding, share capital and building studios, you talked about that already. Investment, equipment, support from external platforms, I mentioned that already. Then we are appealing to the laity that they could donate even buildings, their properties, where they could be converted into diocesan studios. Now, talking about donations, we already have 25,000 donation from a lady who wants to remain anonymous. And a lady did her widow's mite 1,000 series. That's the second donor in the history of this National Catholic Television. And we have a gentleman donating 100,000 series from Konongo Banko Diocese. So you are all encouraged to do your bit. Lumen Christi, and it is this business plan that we have put on the back burner for now, and trying to get opinion, suggestions, recommendations from you, so that we can infuse that into the business plan to make it a whole. And Accra must not be accused that they stay in Accra and do their own thing. So at question and answer time, people come with suggestions and all that. And we have a secretary who is taking note of what is happening today, and that will be presented to the National Implementation Committee for consideration. And then when we finish all the 20 launches, we have chosen Koforidua here. We will come back to Koforidua here and launch the television itself. We will outdoor the television here. The national fundraising will be done here, and we will, as I've said, we will launch the television station from here. That's why we are pushing hard that in May we should be able to gather the money to buy the vital equipment so that probably in June we'll be doing the test transmission. People will get interested. All people who are watching will be motivated that something really is happening, and will donate and cooperate the better. We are having constant collaboration with all the dioceses. We created a platform with the various dioceses. All the members of the implementation committee, executive council are on that, and they are offering their expertise, their advice, and others as we go along. There's an app called Chango. Chango is a crowd funding application. It can be downloaded. Once you load it, it will take you through a process, how to register. We've registered all the dioceses, and this is for smartphones. But if you don't have a smartphones, we have another for the young phones. That is a code. There's a code. We have tried now. Those who have smartphones, this opportunity, you can try your hands on it. And the young phones also, both the young and the smartphones can try it. The code is star 887 star 201 star 887 star 201 hash. You can be trying that while I continue. So the board, as I've mentioned, there will be appointment of a board and the management who will take the business to a higher level. There will be end of the implementation committee, as I've mentioned. With the mandate given to us by the bishop, we have been extended to June. Probably, if we hurry up and cover the roadmap quickly, we could leave the scene by June. But the subcommittees, as I mentioned, will be there for about 2 years to help the board and the management committee, the management team, because they will be new, and some of them, will be there to help them. So critical success factors: ownership and participation of all dioceses. This is what we're doing effectively. We are doing. We went to Goso, we went to Bo, we went to Jasikan, we went to Kerkos, we went to Sekanita Kradi, we went to Obuasi, Kumasi is coming on tomorrow, etc., etc. So we are engaging as their support. And it's very critical that the laity must cooperate with the circumdirectors. The support from the bishop is apparent. That's why they are here. That's why at the diocesan launches, the bishop presides as the chairman over the event. And we want support also from diocesan channels. Commercial orientation of the company and the owners, as I've mentioned already. You can't say because it's a Catholic station, you are doing adoring, you wanted to cover, and you wanted to do free of charge. It doesn't work like that. The corporate governance and professionalism is going to be a hallmark. There will be no doubt about that at all. And mind you, the new company law is very strict on corporate governance and professionalism. So the way forward that one is support. Support and support. It's your own baby. We need support from everyone. Let us all come together. Together we can. Now, thank you sincerely, but the Chango, before the fundraising committee comes in, have you tried the Chango? Yes. So how many have loaded the app? Let's see my hand. Smartphones. Okay, that's about 3 or so. But the other one, which is the star 887 star 201 hash, we can all try now. And we have mobile money. Well, number 2, that is for voters cash. That's the number there. When it comes to reference, make sure that you put your code there so that it's created to your diocese. Checks, cash, and transfers could be sent to. That's our account number. We will put it on the Solidarity platform, and then the members of the fundraising committee will distribute it or circulate it. That's the account number. So we have come to questions and answer time.
So we will ask Mr. Ibrahim, the reference, CDK, the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua, CDK, that would be the reference. So please, Daddy is on hand to take questions, if there are any, and if there's any issue you want him to put more light on, he's very much ready. And then suggestions, very, very important, so that we can build a very formidable media organization. We are waiting for suggestions, your questions, right now.
Meanwhile, I want us to do a small exercise. Lumen Christi no. Yaso. Lumen Christi no. Yaso. Lumen Christi no. So, Lumen Christi TV no.
Yaso.
NC TV no.
Yaso.
So, I couldn't hear from you.
Yaso.
Lumen Christi TV no.
Yaso.
Lumen Christi TV no.
Yaso.
Lumen Christi TV no. Yaso. Questions.
So, suggestions.
Assuming that my society, Knight of St. John, bought shares, maybe the Koforidua Diocesan, bought shares in the TV. He said when it comes to the profit sharing, it will be kept in the church. Will the money be brought to Koforidua Diocesan, or it will be given to the society?
That is donations and all those things we are doing now. Nobody will benefit from that but the church. But when it comes to buying shares and all that.
When you float,
yes, we float the shares.
buy.
Yes, it will be where you want it to go. Some may say that you go to their societies. When dividends is what is distributed, yes, you can decide to reinvest into the TV. But if you don't want to reinvest the TV, I don't know where else you want to reinvest it.
Thank you very much for your presentation. You have made us aware of the financial implication of this project. There's no doubt that we need a lot of sponsorship. We need people to understand this project and be general to contribute. But you made mention of the fact that any program that is going to come on the air has to be paid for. We don't have to say it's for the quality and so it's free. I agree with you 100%. But I want to ask, there are certain programs which the people cannot pay for, but to be very effective in terms of people knowing what the Catholic Church is doing in terms of evangelization. If you come to, let's say, to the place to record that program and I can't pay, what do? I want to see that adverts can be paid for, certain programs can be paid for, others too cannot be paid for. What do we do?
Thank you very much, Monsignor. For ordination programs like this, when the national comes, they will carry it free of charge. But I'm talking about certain diocesan ones. But guidelines will be coming to spell that one clearly. Since a board of directors will be in place and the management team will be in place, they will be guarded by commercial policy of the company, and guidelines will come accordingly.
During your presentation, you made mention that the laity should owe National Academy, the Lumen Christi TV, but alongside the shareholding, 51 to Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference and 49 to the laity. Significantly, by shareholding, then the motive is not so. I will need further clarification on that. But I think, along lines, we are grateful that the church has now owned a TV channel. It has been one of the joy of most of us that when you look at other stations, they have. But additionally, I would want to urge that let's look at how this baby of the church can withstand challenges. And I don't know whether we have learned lessons from, for example, GTV as a state broadcaster. There are other challenges. And from the presentation, you are going to open channels in all the dioceses, which is capital intensive. What are some of the measures that will make sure that at the end of the day, the project should be able to be on its feet successfully? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. For clarification, I didn't say we'll open the television stations in all the 20, but studios where content could be produced, and those who qualify could be used on the national television. There will be guidelines as to qualitative of those content that will come. Some of those that will come will even attract international attention. There may be something that happened in a diocese, in a village somewhere, maybe discovery of some new mineral, and you hear of it first. You, as an ambassador of Lumen Christi television, would probably record that and send it to the national. And it becomes a national, it becomes international news, which probably will attract some money. And then that money could be, part of it could be, be given to that young man or the young lady who has made that scoop.
There is a content committee, the Diocesan Content Committee, that will seek to make sure that whatever content we send to national is censored, the quality is good enough before it is sent. So outside the national, the Diocesan also have implementation committees. We have content committee that will look at whatever is coming from the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua for onward transmission to Accra to be deemed either live or as a recorded. That he wants me to remind you about the 5149.
Yes, the 5149. You see, the bishop's channel, it has to be owned. They may have legal or possession of it in the name of you. It's not the bishops when they go on retirement, they will take away. No. This they are holding in trust for all the lay faithful. It's not their property, and it's not their personal property. So they are just holding in trust to make sure that the Catholic Church owns that 51%, the commanding share in the television enterprise. And mind you, when we do the IPO, there could be non-Catholics that want to subscribe, but to be subject to some strict surveillance scrutiny.
I just learned there will be a diocesan implementation committee for this diocese. This is a suggestion to them. We'll be very grateful if they'll be able to tell us what they're going to do differently from the other existing stations. That will be, that can help us attract more audience. Because if they're not able to tell us what they're going to do differently, it will be very difficult for us to differentiate between the other stations, especially the faith-based stations, and that of ours. So if they can come up as soon as possible with this program they're going to run, I think we'll also be challenged to come up with something that we can also do differently to help this television station. Thank you.
Then C, provide content from the various DESOCOM offices, from this diocesan priests, religious, and lay faithful. So the content is not only going to come from the clergy, from the lay faithful and the religious as well. So the sisters could create something innovative. The brothers could do something. Once they meet the quality guidance, will be transmitted. And C, develop general content for attracting donations, contributions, and advertising and sponsorship. Then the last one, help produce newsworthy bulletins as well as breaking news through freelance journalists across the diocese with the help of the diocesan DESOCOM director. So you see, we are getting all of you involved, and these are the guidelines.
We realize that when the British wanted to publish their news, they use BBC. When Americans want to publish their news, they use CNN. And then people realize that it's from their side or their eyes that they see things. So something like Al Jazeera came, so that they could see from a different side of the issue. I would like to plead with a group that are going to manage this. Let's create a content where the TV station will be a general TV station. Let's say it's a general TV station, but the Catholic content is about 40%. Looking at 24 hours for 365 days, it's a very huge number of time that we have. So if you have just about, let's say, 20% of it or 30% of it, publishing Catholic issues, and then producing going for national content, like general news, let's say something like Joy FM style media, but you have 20% of it where we can always publish our news there. You will still be able to carry the news, and we still can have a lot more people watching our television than to say it's just a Catholic television and all that we produce will just be Catholic content. That one will not get the views. But when we have this, and then we have that percentage where the Catholic have that about percentage that we can be able to chip in anytime, anything we want to do at intervals, we'll be able to get a lot more people looking at us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Useful suggestion. It is already part of the policy of the implementation of this project. Thank you very much for bringing it to light.
I have witnessed some institutions that are Catholic institutions. working over the years, and then all of a sudden you hear that we as a church, we have to make or do a donation to support this institution. I believe that as this project has started, I want to be very sure that the management of this project will do their work very well so that they run this project as a business, and that it wouldn't come back to us, even though supporting will be something that we all want to do, but it wouldn't come back to us, do donations to support, but we want to see this project, this business running to raise money so that it can run itself. So that is my recommendation.
February, the bishops are given a place at the National Secretariat, but that will not be adequate for us. The national headquarters will be built on that Soweto mountain, where accessibility of the way, what you call it, the frequency and all that will be ideal.
Have that satisfy you? So thank you very, very much. Let's put our hands together again for Daddy. So I guess some other, so I'll ask the dignitaries to now take their seats back. So local content here may not be able to suffice it. Then it means that national studios will have to come to Koforidua and do a collaboration with us for us to want to cover it. But then, when it comes to just maybe our bishop is going for a visitation in a parish, pastoral visit, that will not require a national to come. The local content, the local bureau, the local channel here in Koforidua Diocese will then decide to go do the capture, do the edits and everything and send it. So in a nutshell, it's just a disintegration or let's say central, yes, so that we can be able to send our content, and a committee has been formed to that effect. We have the sub-committees for fundraising. They will see to the fundraising activity that will help us. You know, when we raise any funds, as of now, what they are saying is 70% to go to the national, and then 30% will remain in the diocese for us to equip ourselves and for other logistics. We are still talking, we had a meeting yesterday, we are still talking that if the amounts could be highed up to about 40% for us. And Mr. Kujoji has agreed to take that on board when he meets. So, locally, that is what it means. So for Father Asumelu, now what will be said in the day, no, but all from us, if you are now, your man, QLAB, yeah, quality assurance, what be minds.
The next committee is fundraising committee, liaison subcommittee, fundraising committee. The chairperson is Mr. Anthony Watson.
I, Peter Appeal, pledge to support the Diocese Content Subcommittee of the National Television Project Content Committee to accomplish its mandate in establishment the Lumen Christi TV. So help me God.
to serve on this subcommittee, and I wish you the very best, and may the good Lord continue to bless all that you do. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you very, very much. But the subcommittees already done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the 9th members of this wonderful program, historic one at that.
As human beings that God has brought us to this world. And I know for the occasion you are inaugurating a media that you can use to propagate the gospel. The old order changes and it yields place to new. The traditional ways of giving information, we are having new ways. And it's in line that you are having this occasion. We are with you, we are sisters. I used to be here, but when the division came, I moved to the north. But still, I'm in the south. So, Bishop, I'm with you. Even though I will soon leave, I'm still with you. I know whatever you will come out with, the assembly has the same purpose. In the way we want us to help Lumen North is ever ready. I've seen First Lady is within my municipality. Yeah. So New Lumen South North, we are with you, and we wish you well, Bishop and the clergy. Thank you very much, and have a fruitful inauguration. God bless you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mommy. God bless you for coming through. Again, please acknowledge these ones for me. Meeting this particular program to an end. Again, we want to say a big thank you to Madam Chairperson of the Laity Council of the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua, for accepting to be here and chairing the implementation committee and all the meetings up to now. For the ones you have not been left out, God richly bless you. Monsignor Chuberima, God richly bless you for your support in all this. And for all of us, the priests from all the parishes across the length and breadth of the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua, the nooks and high places of Ebri and go down, nearly below Nakosongo valleys, down to Koforidua and the hinterlands and the forest areas of our church. We say thank you for coming. God richly bless you. And for everything that you have contributed this far. Say to me, going with one.